Welcome back to the Deep Dive. So our mission today is to take a look at a single piece of hardware with a very long name, the Thor Broadcast H-1HDMI-QAM-IPLL 1G HDMI to QAM encoder modulator.
It's a mouthful for sure.
It is. And we're going to figure out the power hidden inside that really complex name. This deep dive is for you if you've ever wondered how big institutions can just create their own TV channel. So let's unpack this. Before we get lost in the jargon, what are we really talking about with encoder and QAM modulator?
Well, think of this box as a shortcut. It lets you become your own private little cable company. The encoder part, its job is to take an HDMI source, could be anything, a camera, a DVD player, and it, compresses it digitally.
Right.
And then the modulator takes that digital data and basically prepares it to travel over old school copper coaxial cable.
The kind of wiring that's already in the walls of like every hotel or hospital?
Exactly. It makes those decades-old cables useful again for modern, HD video.
That right there shows you how useful it is. But looking at the specs, it's a combination encoder, modulator, IPTV server, and an ASI mux. I mean, that sounds like massive overkill. Does putting all that in one box actually help, or does it hurt the performance?
Oh, it creates huge efficiency. You're basically getting rid of 3 separate racks of equipment. So its main job, like we said, is encoding that HDMI signal up to 1080p 60. Then it modulates it using QAM.
QAM. This is about how much data you can fit on a wire, right?
Right. Think of QAM 64 as maybe standard definition density. QAM 256 is what you need to push that full HD quality. It's much denser.
So you're just making the most of that physical cable. And it's not just coax. It also handles IPTV streaming and DVB ASI. What's that for? I mean, who uses that?
Yeah, that's where you see this is really a professional grade tool. DVB ASI is the standard for moving big, uncompressed video streams between studio equipment.
Okay, so it's for integrating into a bigger broadcast setup.
Precisely. This means the box isn't just for, putting a video on a TV down the hall. It can plug right into a high-end studio chain. And with the IP streaming, you can do a simple one-to-one link or a huge internal broadcast to thousands of people. It handles both.
Okay, so with all that processing, the encoding, the modulating, maybe streaming over IP, what does that do to the delay? Is there a lag?
That's a huge point in the source material. They really emphasize latency, and that's where this technology really shines. Normally, a process like this adds a pretty noticeable delay. We're talking 1,200, maybe 1,600 milliseconds.
More than a full second.
Yeah, which is useless for a live security feed or a video conference. It's just too slow. This unit gets that delay down to somewhere between 70 and 250 milliseconds.
Wow.
It's a huge difference. The broadcast is functionally real-time. That makes it viable for live events, interactive systems, all of it.
And I imagine if you're a hotel or a campus, you need more than one channel. So how does it scale?
It scales up really easily. You can literally create a headend with dozens of channels just by stacking these units and daisy chaining them.
But managing dozens of channels sounds complex.
Mm.
What's the control system like?
This isn't your home Wi-Fi router setup, that's for sure. It's all managed through a dedicated web server on a totally separate network port.
So IT can keep the control traffic separate from the video traffic.
Exactly. And that's critical in a professional setting. It lets them manage the whole channel lineup remotely, check the system's health. For a place like a hospital, that kind of control is, well, it's non-negotiable.
So what does this all mean then? It seems like for about $2,700, this one box lets an institution completely sidestep public cable. They can just reuse their old wiring to create a modern, low-latency HD video network. They're basically their own little cable company.
That's it, exactly. And that, I think, connects to the bigger picture. It makes you think this kind of professional, self-contained technology raises a really interesting question. How many of these internal networks, hospitals, schools, huge corporate campuses are running their own dedicated, really complex broadcast systems? Completely independent of the internet, completely separate from the cable providers, we all know.
Right under our noses.
Right under our noses. It just goes to show you that the broadcast landscape is so much bigger than just the few major companies we see every day. There are thousands of these massive private channels everywhere.